I've been in Middle Tennessee my whole life.
I grew up in southern Indiana, came down to Nashville to go to Belmont in 2010, and it's where I met this girl, and so I stuck around here. We started looking at houses here in Mount Juliet. We moved to a subdivision. We lived there for a couple years, and we always wanted some land. We liked that idea of having a little bit of space.
I grew up as a little country girl, just outside all the time, and my parents had land. I grew up on a farm and they had cattle, and creating those memories as a child is what I want for our son.
Especially boys, they need room to run around, to have fun. Jensen loves being outside. So we bought some land a couple years ago, and then the market got to a place where we felt like we could sell the house and start building here.
I loved the land. Imagine building a house and just raising a family here. It feels like you're out in the country, but you're really close to town, like you're really kind of in the middle of Mount Juliet.
But it feels like as soon as you turn onto the road, you're in the middle of nowhere. It's a place where you can come out, kind of slow down for a little bit and really relax at home.
There were a couple of things that I really wanted in the house.
She wanted the wraparound porch with the two gables up on the front, and I kept going back to this kind of either a lake house or like a lodge with that kind of big walkout area. So we kind of got together and said, can we make both of these things work? And we figured out a way to do it.
Well, First was really great about working with us through the whole process, and Jonathan's been very helpful with getting our loan set up for us to make this happen.
He's been a huge help in making this a reality.
Reworked the numbers a few times as needed to get us where we needed to be. Jonathan was right there and ready to help.
That's that personal touch that I don't know that we get from every other bank. I mean, he sat down with us, went to coffee with us several times, walked us through these things. He was real patient with us. We had lots of questions. We didn't know what we're doing, but Jonathan has just been really helpful in walking us through everything step by step and what needed to be done.
Because I grew up on a farm with a lot of land, that was something that was really important to me, was to be able to have land to raise a family. But since John also grew up on a farm, he understood how important that is as well and helped us make the dream happen.
There's just certain things that you can't understand unless you kind of have that own personal experience. Like, he lives that. That's his real reality, and I think that's just super helpful. I think living rurally is just so different than living in a subdivision. Because that was our last house, we lived right on top of everybody. That's the thing that's really cool about out here. It's just a different way of living, really, and we can just have fun doing so many other things that you just don't have that opportunity to do when you live in a subdivision.
Whenever I think of closer what matters, I think of faith and family. So I see us using this as a place of fellowship, but also raising our own family in this house.